welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Robin and I like to talk about queer books. And today I thought, because we are halfway through the year, and I know I say this every year but it genuinely terrifies me how fast time seems to be going. I have not done any sort of wrap up or anything like that so far this year. I thought today would be a good day to show you my statistics on my story graph, where I'm up to, what I'm reading, what I'm currently reading, and what are some standouts so far for me this year. So my goal for every year, for the past 3 years I believe, has been 50 books, and I'm so far 24 books in, which is 2 books ahead of schedule, which is pretty... I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. And apparently I'm reading a mix between emotional and dark books, which pretty much sounds like me. My favourite categories are horror and lit fic, and so yeah, I think literature fiction is usually very emotional, and my other horror books I'm reading are pretty dark. It's a good mix. It's a good mix of things I've got going on here. Reading medium-paced books, I think this is just the usual for me. Like, I do like a slow burn sort of book, and I don't mind reading like longer books, but I think a certain type of book, like I said, like a medium-paced book is sort of like perfect for me, because I'm constantly going like on the go, so like I don't have time to just sit down and like get to really enjoy like a slow paced book or anything like that. And again, it's the same with the page numbers, like 58% are under 300 pages. I work full time and I'm a drag artist, so I'm constantly on the go. So I prefer to have, when I have days off like this, that I can have just a short book that I can read in the afternoon. So usually under 300 pages is sort of usual for me, and I do usually read the like longer books, so the 300 to 499 pages. I usually have those as audiobooks. I can enjoy them for over a couple of weeks, so that's why that's why it's like that. 92% fiction. This actually surprised me, because I have been really enjoying non-fiction at the moment as well, so I did expect this to be a lot higher. I've read 2 non-fiction books so far this year, but I will show you what I'm reading currently and then that's gonna bump that up a little bit more. My main category is LGBTQIA. This has been my main category. Again, the queer book channel. I try to read mainly queer books. That doesn't mean that I will disregard any straight books, disgusting straight books, but I do try to read majoritively queer books, and so I think for the past 3-4 years I've been reading, this has always been my highest one anyway. And literary, horror, contemporary, yeah. And my most read author is Andrew Joseph White. So Andrew Joseph White, I believe, only has 3 books, or like 3 main books out, and I read Hell Followed With Us last year, and I enjoyed it so much that I thought, well, I obviously have to read the other 2. And so I did read Compound Fracture first, and then I read Spirit Father's Teeth, which we will get onto that in a minute. Andrew Joseph White may be my favourite author of all time, but like I throw that out all the time to anybody. But I genuinely, every single one of his books is beyond incredible, beyond anything I've ever read, so definitely recommend as an author. And my average rating is 3.73, which is still pretty last year I think my average rating was like 4 or something. It genuinely is like any book that I'm like, I really enjoyed that, 5 stars. I'm not picky about giving my 5 stars, and as you'll see in a second when I go down my already 5 stars I've given this year, yeah, I'm not afraid to give a book 5 stars if I enjoyed it. I've given 6 books 5 stars already this year, and again, these are my standouts, because at the end of the year obviously I do my favourite books of the year and my worst books of the year, so these are all in contenders for my favourite books of the year. Compound Fracture was absolutely incredible, and I will use this as any excuse to show off my special editions of these. The main character, Miles, has just come out as trans, and he lives in a small town in the US, and he is trying to uncover corruption that has sort of plagued the town for about 80 years. It's a long time. And he is trying to do what he can to uncover the corruption and the police there that is trying to control everything, and you know, who make problems disappear and can cause problems, and you know, there's no repercussions for it. This book goes through a lot of issues, like again, corruption, the US, being trans in a small town. It is absolutely incredible, but it is very gory. And again, this is a YA book, but I don't think any of his books read like a YA book. It is absolutely incredible, fantastic. I absolutely adored this book. It definitely deserved the 5 stars. This is contender to my probably like end of the year favourite books is Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. And this is a classic, a classic. And I understand why, because this book is genuinely incredible. I listened to this book, I did it as an audiobook, and I probably cried 3 or 4 times throughout this book. It is absolutely beautiful. The words, it just feels like poetry on a page. I've never read anything like this book, and I genuinely think that if you're looking to get into or like queer lit fic, or if you're just wanting to, you know, read a classic queer book, or I don't even think you have to be into the, like, you know, classic literature, but I absolutely would recommend this book to anybody. It is heartbreaking, it is incredible, it is fantastic. It is set in 1950s Paris, and it follows David, who is a young American who ends up falling in love, even though he is waiting for his wife, or well, fiance, who is a girl. He falls in love with this Italian man called Giovanni, and it is absolutely incredible. It's everything about it. It's just, this is like a tragic love triangle, and things just start to go downhill once they start dating. Anything I say about this book can never justify it, but this might be contender, like #1 spot contender for best book of the year. Because again, I've never read anything like it. It really is incredible, and I absolutely would love to read more of James Baldwin's work. Another book I've given 5 stars already is one of my non-fiction books, and that is Can Feminism Be African? This book talks about patriarchy, human condition, imagination, like just all sorts of what feminism can look like from the African perspective, and what like Africa could be looked at from the feminist perspective. It's a really interesting book. I really enjoyed it. Absolutely worth the read. Very, very interesting. And yeah, I very, very much enjoyed this book. I have rated every single one of his books 5 stars. Out of the 5 stars, I think, like, out of the tier rankings of all 3 of the books, this one is my personal favourite, so it probably may make an appearance at the end of the year video, and that is A Spirit Bares Its Teeth. This is, again, any excuse to show off the books, the special editions I have of these. This book is set in Victorian England and follows Silas, a trans teen who wants to get out of being in a forced marriage or a forced arrangement, and tries to sneak himself into the Magic Society. He is caught doing this, and so is sent to Braxton, which is an institution for sick girls. While he's there, ghosts cry out to him for help to solve their murder and see what's going on inside Braxton. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of dark imagery. It's really, again, really incredible, and all of his books are quite gory, that touch dark subjects and stuff like that, but this genuinely feels very dark to read. It's very sinister, but again, it is absolutely incredible. The characters in this are all incredible. Everything about this book is absolutely to die for. This is genuinely one of my favourite books of all time. And it's absolutely incredible. So yes, I absolutely suggest this one, and this again may be making into, I assume that this will be making an appearance in the top 5 books of the year, so I absolutely adored this book. The next book I gave 5 stars. It's actually a graphic novel, and I have no idea how to pronounce it, so I apologise, but it's Les Normux, maybe? This is a webtoon comic that's been put into a graphic, like a hardback graphic novel. This absolutely incredible. I love every moment of this, and the second I finished it I was like, I need more of this immediately, and I'm very upset that there isn't already like a prequel out or anything like that, even though this came out earlier this year, because I picked this up on release day, I believe, and everything about this story, romance, follows a bunch of different characters. It even follows like the main characters. Oh, Pet Bunny has his own little side quest series inside of here. It's about monsters and humans and living in different worlds. Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I know it's a romance book, but like, romance in monsters, perfect. This is perfect. And the final book I gave 5 stars so far this year is Mongrel, and I got this in the 50% off Waterstone sale at the beginning of the year, and this is absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. I think this has been released as a paperback now as well, so you can pick up the paperback. This book follows 3 characters. The first one is May, who lives in the UK, and she lost her Japanese mother when she was 6 years old, and she also has a best friend who she is in love with, and there's a lot of feelings that she has to work through, suppressing her heritage and also being queer. We also follow Yuki, who lives in the countryside, the Japanese countryside, and who runs away from all of this to go and live her life out in the big city. And then we follow Haruka, who comes to the UK to learn music, ends up getting pregnant, and things start to go downhill from her from there. This is a truly incredible book. All 3 stories are absolutely beautiful, and then the way it all comes together, it's a lot, and it's very emotional, but it's definitely worth the read because it is absolutely incredible. I hear you asking, what books am I reading currently? Sure, I'll let you know. I'm reading 4 books at the moment, which is unusual for me. I usually have 1 physical and 1 audiobook on the go, but I have 1 audiobook on the go and 3 physical books on the go, which is probably not a good idea, but I'm enjoying all 3 of them, and I don't want to put like any one down just to finish another one, so I'm just enjoying cycling through them all at the moment. First one I'm reading is Hijab Butch Blues. This is a memoir, and again this is about being in a Muslim household and growing up queer and what that's like. And yeah, this one's super interesting, and I'm really enjoying this one at the moment, and I've been reading this sort of before I go to bed. Only 60 pages into it because I started it about 2 days ago, but yeah, I've just been reading a couple of pages every night before I go to sleep. Really enjoying this one. I literally just started this yesterday, and that is Eat the Ones That You Love. My partner picked this up for me because it's sort of like a Little Shop of Horror but gay, and Little Shop of Horror is one of my favourite movies of all time. This came out very recently, I believe. I did see a lot of bookstores, like queer bookstores, showing that they have this in. So I'm very excited to continue reading this. I'm only 10 pages in, but like I said, I only started yesterday, and I've only been doing a couple pages at a time as I cycle through everything. And then the other physical book I'm reading, and I've been reading this one for a while, is Stone Butch Blues. I'm reading 2 Butch Blues memoirs at the moment, and Stone Butch Blues I've been reading for, I want to say it's probably about a month I've been reading this for. And I'm 217 pages in. The only reason I've not finished this yet is because this book is huge, like massive. The pages are huge. Just a lot of heavy subjects are talked about in this, so I feel like I can't sit down and just read this in an afternoon. This is definitely one that I can only read sort of like 10 to 15 pages at a time before I'm like, okay, this is a lot. So it is incredible, absolutely incredible. And the audiobook that I'm doing at the moment is the new Ocean Vuong book, which is Emperor of Gladness. I have 11 hours left on it. I did start it 2 days ago, I think, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes because absolutely adore his work. That's my bookish update, my bookish wrap up, if you will, of this year so far. Let me know what you've been reading. Let me know what you're going to, what your favourite books have been so far. Tell me the ones that you don't like. I love gossip. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and I shall see you next time. Bye!